Christmas Eve. My sister scoffed. Santa's not real, she said. Grow up. I clutched my stocking. He is too real. She laughed, mean and cold like always. Prove it then, she dared. Stay awake all night. Catch him in the act. My stomach twisted. Could I do it? The thought sent shivers down my spine. But I had to. For Santa. For me. Hours ticked by. My eyelids grew heavy. The fire crackled, casting dancing shadows on the wall. The grandfather clock chimed midnight. Still, no Santa. Maybe she was right. Just as I was about to give up, I heard it. A soft thump from downstairs. Then another, my heart pounded in my chest. This was it. I was going to meet Santa. I crept out of bed. Each step creaked with a life of its own. The air grew colder as I neared the stairs. A strange scent hung in the air, sweet and rotten. Peeking through the banister, I saw him. A figure hunched over a mountain of presents. Red suit, white beard. It was him! Santa Claus! I wanted to shout, to scream with joy. But something felt wrong. The figure moved in a way that wasn't quite right. Jerky, unnatural. And the whispers. Oh, the whispers! They seemed to slither from the shadows. Curiosity battled with fear. I had to see. Had to know. Holding my breath, I crept down the stairs, each step heavier than the last. The floorboards groaned under my weight. The figure stiffened. He turned, slow and deliberate. My breath hitched. That wasn't Santa. It couldn't be. His skin, stretched taut over bone, looked like melted wax. A patchwork of colors. Patches of green and purple swirled beneath a sickly pale surface. One eye was a milky white orb. The other, a piercing blue, followed my every move. His smile was a gash across his face, revealing teeth filed to sharp points. He wasn't jolly. He wasn't kind. This was a monster wearing Santa's skin. Terror froze me in place. My mind screamed at me to run, but my legs wouldn't obey. He took a step closer. The sweet, rotten smell intensified. I was trapped. Section 4, the price of immortality. Naughty, naughty, he rasped. His voice was like gravel scraping against stone. You shouldn't see me like this. He gestured to his gruesome form. I found my voice. A whimper, barely audible. Santa? He chuckled, a dry, rattling sound. Close enough, little one. He saw the camera clutched in my hand. A souvenir? I'm afraid not. He snatched it from me with surprising speed. His touch was ice cold. Immortality comes at a price, he said, his voice softer now. This, he gestured again at his appearance. This is the price I pay. A small price for the joy I bring. Section 5. More than meets the eye. His words chipped away at my fear, replacing it with a strange sense of pity. He wasn't a monster, he was just trapped, forced to wear this horrifying mask. But the magic, I whispered. How? He smiled again, and this time it didn't seem so scary. The magic is real, child. It always has been. It's just complicated. He told me stories then. Stories of the first Christmas, of the burden he chose to carry, the sacrifices he made to keep the spirit of giving alive. The fear was gone now, replaced by a sadness I couldn't quite explain. He wasn't the Santa from the Coca-Cola commercials. He was something else entirely, something more. Section 6. A Christmas Miracle. He placed a finger on my lips, a silent plea for secrecy. Then, with a puff of that strange, sweet, rotten air, he was gone. The room was empty, except for the presence and the lingering scent of decay. I rushed back to bed, my mind reeling. Had it been a dream? A hallucination brought on by too much Christmas candy? I didn't know. The next morning, Uncle Thomas arrived. His hand, usually covered by a leather glove, was bare. 3 fingers were missing, cleanly severed, a red ribbon tied around the stump. He claimed it was a work accident, but his eyes met mine, and I saw a flicker of something else. Guilt? Gratitude? I never asked. Section 7. The Gift of Perspective. Years have passed. The memory of that night remains vivid, a scar etched onto my mind. I never told anyone what I saw, Not even my sister. Some days, I believe, I see the good in people, the selfless acts of kindness, the magic of the season, and I remember his words, the price he pays. Other days, doubt creeps in. The world feels cold, cynical, devoid of wonder. I see the ugliness in humanity, and I wonder if I imagined it all. But every Christmas Eve, I leave out a plate of cookies, just in case. And I remember the lesson Santa Claus taught me. Sometimes the greatest truths are hidden behind the most terrifying masks.